rising. Good morning. I am slacking today. I don't know what's going on here. I'm like, can't hardly get. See, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Bring it together. Bring it together. It's a Monday. Monday. Oh, good morning, my beautiful sister Kelly Jones. Good morning, Victoria Hawk in the house. Grand Rising sisters. Thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for being here. How is everybody today? Hi, Cassie. So good to see you. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for liking, sharing, following, inviting your friends, helping me to share. I was trying to get it out. I tried to share during the introduction, but I was having everything's going slow this morning, including me. So, let's go with the flow though, right? We're going with the flow. So welcome everybody. Hi, Angela. Welcome, sister. So good to see you here. Guys, I stream across 3 platforms. I am in TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. If you're new, aloha, welcome. My name is Earth Angel Jamaica. It is always a blessing and an honor to have you join us here in this space, place, and time. This is where we come together Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m., setting our intention to master the art of self-care. And we focus on our prosperity. We teach about the spiritual laws, which are tithing, forgiveness, life purpose, and goals. And we are in, can you believe it, week 8 of our 8-week series. We have been diving in and really learning how to master our energy. Hello, Brandy. Bjorn, welcome, sisters. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm so excited. We're growing and expanding. It's just so exciting. So, like I was saying, we are in week 8. Week 8. This is it. We finally made it to the end of our Masters of Energy series, where we have been diving in, learning about each one of our chakras and getting to the root, getting to the core of the chakra, understanding the energy of the chakra, how it works, how it functions, how it affects us, so that we can understand how to use our energy. I believe that's our life purpose, right? Our energy period is to understand, to master our energy as part of that life purpose we talk about. It is the life purpose. You're it. So we are in week 8 where we're in the crown. We've moved up to the crown. Miss Kelly, having moderation problems with Facebook site. Okay, well, that's good old. I love Facebook because it's so wonderful for all the social platform that we get to participate in. But I'm going to take that off of my face. Hang on, I got this thing right on my face and it's driving me nuts. Let's hide that there. But if you guys are not already joined, make sure you go over, join the YouTube channel. I should stick that post up there. Let me put the channel in the feed. It seems to stream without any issues over there pretty well. So, let's see here. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let me just stick it in there. Nope. Stick that link in the comment. I better clarify that. So if you have any troubles on the Facebook or the TikTok, make sure you go over, like, subscribe, and follow on the Facebook or onto the YouTube. Sorry, I just posted the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because it seems to flow over there without any issues. We don't get zipped up. We don't get held up. It goes good. And TikTok as well. TikTok goes really wonderful. I don't seem to have any issues with TikTok. The only issue with TikTok is I don't know how to go back and rebroadcast the lives. And the cool thing about YouTube is you can go back and rewatch the episodes. So if you missed any of this series we're talking about, if you want to go back and rewatch, if you want to just remind yourself of some of the things we went through, because this is a lot. We've taken in a lot of information, even though it's 8 weeks, right? It's a long time. It's 2 months we've been talking about this. But each week we've been diving into each one of those chakras and really learning about these tools and setting the intention to feel our energy, to experience our emotion, to experience how to start mastering this energy, right? So it seems like a big stretch, but it's a lot. We took in a lot. We said we've done a lot of movement. We've done a lot of growth in these 8 weeks, right? So you might want to go back and rewatch, catch an episode. I have them lined out every day, starting with the chakra, week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way to week 8, and then day 1, day 2, day 3. You can check them out on the website and the YouTube. So that's the great thing about YouTube too, okay? Good morning, Nina. So good. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm so good to have you here and checking it out. Yeah, guys. And it we just don't have any issues over there as much. That's the nice thing is it doesn't we don't have hiccups. It flows well. The live videos are there. And I also have pinned in the comments the new website. You can definitely check out the new website that has all of the links all in one spot, all the social media, everything's all together. And it's a great place. You guys definitely check out the website. It's Earth Angels Heaven Sent dot godaddysites.com right now. I'm waiting for my domain to link properly, but right now it's up and going with that link. And again, that link is on the Facebook. You can just click on it. Makes it really easy, even though it sounds like a really long name. TikTok, same thing. It's linked in the it's in my bio, so you can just click on it and it should take you right into there, which makes it nice. But you can, guys, it's a place 24 hours. It's a place to come 24/7, plug in and get positive, upbeat information, sources of energy. There's a blog going. I've got videos. It's just, I'm building it and growing every day. So check that out too. Now that I've shamelessly plugged myself here, unshamelessly plugged myself. How's everybody's weekend? How'd you guys doing today? Thank you so much for those roses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hang out. We're doing general chit chat. This is a place where we set the intention. We nourish ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. So if you were guided here, what I do know is if you're hanging out here, there's a reason. The universe, you guys, is so divinely always conspiring just for you, just for you, just for me, to bring us to the place, space, and time where if we're open to receive that energy, we will receive something that will help us to elevate and grow and expand and make some movements. We're always moving, but it's up to us which way we want to go, right? What do we want to feed ourselves? What do we want to nourish ourselves? So today we're going to nourish ourselves with talking about that crown chakra. We're going to dive into it. Let me pull up my notes because y'all know me. I can sit here and chitty chat all day if I don't. That's why I keep an outline of notes. Otherwise, look out. Oh, I love it. All right. So today we're talking about the crown chakra, the 7th, the last chakra. This is the chakra that is right here. Literally sits just like a crown. That's why it is named deemably, right? The crown chakra, because it is the chakra that's actually not within our physical field. It's right above our heads. It sits right on top, just like a little halo right here. So we finally made it. So this plays a unique role in human spirituality, connection, and our consciousness. The crown chakra Sanskrit word, when translated, means thousands or infinite. Okay. It creates a long connection with the Supreme Self. The awakening of the crown chakra means a universal flow of energy and spiritual enlightenment. I want to pull up the symbol really quick because I want you guys to see. If you're over on Facebook or TikTok, you can see the symbol, right? The petals, 1,000 infinite possibilities. That's that symbol, has all the infinite petals around it. Infinite. It is represented by pure white or light velvet as, I can't even read today. Do you see how much trouble I'm having? Even seeing my own writing. This is insane. Sorry, guys. It's the it's the moon day and I'm a Sunday baby, right? It is the most important. Okay, hang on. There we go. It represents pure light and violet colors, and it acts as the bridge to the cosmos. It is the most spiritual in nature of all the 7 chakras. located above the head, and it acts as the individual center of spiritual enlightenment, wisdom, universal consciousness, and connection to higher guidance. In a sense, the crown chakra is our highest potential. It governs interaction and communication with the universe, one's sense of inspiration and devotion, union with the highest self and the divine, and deeper understanding. Simultaneously, it is responsible for a healthy spiritual life. Some people like to think of the crown as a kind of umbilical cord to the divine. We as human beings are connected to the oneness of all things. Because we have this direct connection, it is important that we do not conceptualize ourselves as being completely separate from the divine. Instead, the greater universal force is merely a larger expansion of the same energy which makes us up. I can spit. I don't know why I'm tongue tied today. The crown chakra allows for the experience of unity and universal connectedness, as well as integration of the whole. It has masculine energy and is represented by the color violet, sometimes even that bright white. And I've shared with you guys when we do meditations, for me, when I see that color in that crown, it's almost like the white opalescent color. So it kind of varies, right? That's the uniqueness of each of us, right? And again, the 1,000 petals, each one of that symbol around there is representation of 1,000 petals, 1,000 different possibilities, the infinite, basically, right? That connection to the infinite understanding, the knowingness, the endless supply, that supply, that source energy we talk about, right? That's that infinite connection. And we are that processing center. If you remember back in the beginning, we shared about how energy flows through our bodies, right? And for us, when we are in that universal flow, it starts from our base, just like the trees, right? We started our roots. We pull energy from the earth up through our chakras, starting at that root, goes through each one. Remember, we instinct, emotion, intellect, wisdom, heart, intuitions, truth, listening, hearing, right? All of this processing we do through this, our higher knowing, out back through the crown that goes back out to the universe, to the cosmos, to that infinite, right? The tree branch. When we come out, if you picture yourself as that energy system, your roots, picture yourself as the tree. When we come out the crown is basically, right, those infinite petals, those infinite leaves, those infinite branches, those infinite divine connections. That's our crown chakra, open, wide, receiving, in balance. Picture that tree just stretching out that oneness, right, in that divine flow. And then even, right, it's never ending, because what happens even when those come out, right, it goes back out all the way from the roots, that energy flows all the way to the leaf. And then once that leaf releases all that energy, what happens? It falls back down to the ground and recirculates back through the energy, right? Reprocesses, always connected. It's always connected. Even in the illusion of it falling to the ground and being disconnected, it's still part of that energy, that source, that flow. And so are we. It's important that we understand and see ourselves in that divine wholeness. So, this elementally is associated with thought and silence. This is the chakra of be still and know. Be calm, listen, receive, send. And the mantra is I know. The mantra is I know. Nina, no worries. Hopefully you will be able to join us later. Thanks for being here, sweetheart. Thank you. Or be able to come back and rewatch. I hope it's not the Facebook, but the YouTube seems to go pretty smooth. Angela, get some blue stones out of your throat chakra. I know. You know what, girl? You are so on point. I'm even gonna go. I have them right here. I do. This morning it's funny, and this one jumped out, and I should have left them both out. I'm gonna bring them right here because you're on point, right? Bring them in. Bring them in. Good morning. Great week. Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful sister Karen in the house. See, I'm getting my tools out. I'm getting my tools out. Dum, da, da, dum. Ta-da. All right, guys. So when this chakra is balanced, let's talk about what it looks like and why it's important, right? Why do we want this to be balanced? When it's balanced, it brings a more positive outlook on life. We're really able to see the beauty in everything. We're able to see spirit in everything. We're able to grasp that positive. There's positive energy all around us. Again, it's our choice of what we nourish ourselves. We bring in how we choose to process things, right? The shift in thought, which we get into next, right? When we look at our thinking. So this, right? More positive outlook in life. There's visible changes in our habits and our attitudes. The self is no longer ruled by the ego. And when I say not ruled by the ego, right? Spirit through this 8 weeks, that was one of the lessons that came in for me along this was about ego and right edging God out or embracing God openly. Our ego is our our human experience is our ego. And so we need to retrain our ego to either embrace God openly, express these experiences, or we can edge God out, and then we're not in that flow, that alignment. These are when we're out of the energy, right? So the self no longer ruled by that ego of the shadow side. It's enlightened. We become enlightened. Our ego becomes enlightened. Emotions like gratitude, compassion, and acceptance become our true self. We it our ego, that new, right, the enlightened ego, is a rejection of all negative thoughts that brings unhappiness and stress into our life. A balanced crown chakra brings spiritual understanding, peace, and clear perspective. So it's important that this is an open, right? That we have this tree. This is again, I just keep seeing a tree. Spirit is using the tree so magnificently right now in my vision. I just keep getting this tree of why it's important. Like, right, we started, here we are in week 8. We started all the way back in the beginning with those roots, really understanding how to nourish the roots, how to maintain the roots. Everything happening in a tree, if we look in our nature, we look at the world around us that we're surrounded by, just taking those trees, right? Everything happening up here, everything we see. I have this huge oak tree right here. I'm looking like you guys can see it, right? I have a giant oak tree in my front yard. Everything that I see is happening down there in the roots though, right? It's starting in the roots, the nourishment, the greenness, the growth, the expansion, the how tall they are, right? That's all coming from that root, the base, right? But that root is just connected to that leaf on the very top. And that leaf was the root at one time. And the root will eventually become that, right? Because it'll travel the nourishment through it, the energy, always cycling. Always cycling. That's what we are. And when we learn to master these energies, when we learn to understand how we process, we are that processing center, the processing center. We're it. This is our purpose. We are the purpose. We are created to be us, to be this energy, to be a spiritual being squeezed into a human form, receiving information. Here we are informed. We are information from spirit processing into this human spiritual being, having this spiritual experience still as a human. And our gift is this temple, this energy, this experience, getting to be this human, be in this. And we're really missing the boat if we're looking outside of ourselves for our power, because our power is in here. My favorite slogan that came up for me this week in my meditation is if you take the time to go within, it's impossible. You'll never go without, because that's your source. If you take the time to go within, you'll never go without. Right? How amazing. Thank you, Kelly, over there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, I hope this has been a good series for you. We're going to talk about the tools. We're going to talk about tools for this crown chakra. We're going to get into some of the essential oils tomorrow. Foods, foods are an interesting one, because the foods, it's the opposite in the crown. This is about the spiritual. This is more of the fasting, the releasing of the physical needs, the abandoning of looking at this physical and coming into the understanding of this. So allowing our nourishment to come from pure spiritual source energy when working in this, the highest of the high, the bridge to the cosmos, that connection. Okay. But there are definitely some essential oils and herbs and teas and fast and things that we can do. So we're going to talk some more about that tomorrow. Meditations. Again, this is the place of the silence, the being still, the knowing. We'll practice some of that on Wednesday like we do. I love it. I love doing these meditations with you guys. I'm excited to announce we have our beautiful sister, Miss Karen Jordan, going to be doing some evening time group meditations and offering some of her beautiful skills to us here very shortly, will be announced. So and what perfect timing, right? As we just came through getting this in, we're learning to master our energy. Now we're getting offered some more tools to continue with that. Like, spirit is so in alignment to bring us where we can grow and expand if we're open, always conspiring, right? Miss Karen, I surrender the ego of my being. I attune to the highest and purest universal vibration of wisdom and compassion. Oh, bam. Now okay, I'm putting that up on screen. That was a very powerful affirmation, you guys. Look at that. I surrender my ego, or surrender the ego of my being. I attune to the highest and purest universal vibration of compassion. That is a powerful affirmation right there. I love it. And what a beautiful segment into our next section, right? Because we're moving on. We're talking about nourishing ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. We're moving into the mind, the food for thought, and we focus on the spiritual laws. And today, the spiritual law that we're focused on is tithing. Tithing means literally 10%. 10, like tithe. The word tithe is 10, tenth, a tenth, right? So it means 10%. Tithe is tenth, a tenth. It does 10%, but it's a tenth, right? For me, and I've shared this with lots of you guys, but anybody new, right? For me in the past about tithing, I was always led to believe it only had to do with financial money, period. And it was supposed to go to a certain organization, situation, in order for, everything to be in alignment with. And I'm not here, I believe, I'm not here to diss on any person, place, or thing. That's why I don't name any. This is just part of my history. Like, there was groups I was a part of that, like, oh, you had to give 10% in order for everything to be right. And things didn't always resonate with me and like, it was just, regardless, it didn't matter. That's just the way it was. And even if you weren't participating or even a part of the group, if you were just because, that kind of thing. So it never sat right. What I love is the beginning. Actually, it's been a year now for me since I started studying it, and I can't even tell you guys. Well, you guys have watched it. Just go back and watch the prosperity. It's this works. It works. It's just that simple. I was introduced to Miss Edwina Gaines, and she teaches about these four spiritual laws that we talk about here now. This is why I shared this stuff with you guys, right? And in there, she talks about the tithing. Um, and through her learning, through her experience, taking it to the next level with me, taking this information, coming into tithing and understanding, because for her, it brought it real clear that it's about us gifting back to spirit, right? Where we're spiritually being fed. And then as I would take that into meditation, spirit made it really clear to me, like, right, it's about that. You can't out gift. You can't out like using the farm. If you're a gardener, if you plant one seed, right? If you go plant one seed in your garden from your harvest, you go harvest your garden, you keep one, just one, plant it. And that one seed takes roots, grows, expands, the fruit. How much fruit do you get from that one tree? How much harvest, how much nourishment are you receiving from that one seed, right? And then how many seeds, even just not even the but how many seeds, how many more seeds do you get to replant that you could replant, right? There's such an infinite abundance of it. Talking about infinite abundance in the crown, right? There, we wouldn't even, like, if we were to harvest and keep every seed out of our garden and replant it the next year, can you imagine how insane our garden, like, it would be over and endless supply, right? If you plant just 1/10 of the seeds, what are you going to get back? It's still an insane amount, right? Still an insane, absolute insane amount. So the reality of it is, what tithing is about is gifting back where we're spiritually being fed. And that's the biggie, is one, making sure you are spiritually being fed. Are you receiving nourishment? And it doesn't have to be a building. It can be a people place thing, animal kingdoms. It could be the waitress. It could be a gas station attendant. It could be, if somebody is giving you some spiritual nourishment and you know that's nourishment, then those are the places we want to tithe to. We want to keep that spiritual nourishment flowing in all forms. So, yes, it does include our money. And it can be, I have a spiritual center that I go to here in Grants Pass. I share it with you guys on the feed, right? So, of course, my 10% of my financial goes to there because that's my home. And I want to see this spiritual building, these places, keep going. But I don't just give my money. I also give my time, my other energy, because this is where I'm spiritually fed. But it's also not my only source. I recognize through the week there's other people, places, and things, especially in this spiritual world, that very much I connect with, and they bring me nourishment. And so in that case, I get the privilege of gifting back to me, to spirit, into those ways, into time, into energy, into money, in all forms, everything that comes through me, gift back. And that's how we grow and we expand. And that's the gift of tithing. Okay, the gifts in tithing, which the biggest gift that we got, the very first gift we got, is us. Again, back to mastering our energy, this body, this physical being, mind, body, and spirit. So when we talk about tithing, it's so important. Again, planting the seeds in here. Imagine we just take that 10%. If we give 10% of that time, we get 24 hours a day. If you give 2.4 hours to nourishing yourselves, mind, body, and spirit, right? Mind, body, and spirit. How will your garden expand when you plant those seeds right in within here? How much will you have to harvest and to share and to keep gifting, right? Reliving, right, living. So I have trouble seeing so far away, but how I deal with that is learning to master my own energy and understanding that I have an infinite source when I'm connected to the divine, like we're talking about right now. And then learning to put up, there are some energy ways, once we start to learn to master our energy and being in that flow, that we can, add some little protection using visualizations and meditations and learning to master this energy we can put around ourselves to keep to where people cannot tap in. And then also before you get there though, calling in Archangel Michael. Call in Archangel Michael is an amazing archangel for protecting our energy, right? For putting this beautiful shield around us that doesn't keep us blocked and out of the flow, but keeps just, it's like a mesh protection they can put around us that keeps just the positive coming in and keeps, it's like if you've ever gone swimming into a bay and they've got the shark netting around, right? It's just that little protection. Keeps the sharks out, but allows the flow to still come through and be in that groove, right? So call upon the angels until you learn to master. And even when we learn, like it's part of learning to master our energy is using the tools. And the archangels are definitely one of the tools that can help with that, hon. Hope that helps. And we can chat more too if you need to. Experience with someone, it's been difficult to maintain the positive. We can chat a little more in private if you are, even after the show, if you want to, about that. I can give you a little more assistance with that, love. Okay, guys. So with that being said, right, nourishing ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. It's important that we look at our thoughts. And I love, like I was saying, Miss Karen, bringing ourselves in, right? When we're talking about tithing to ourselves, looking at our thought processes, 2.4 hours out of our day to really focus on loving, being gentle, being kind, mastering our energy, practicing using these tools that we have to bring us into alignment. I'm going to repeat this affirmation that Miss Karen put up, right? If we do things like this, taking 5 minutes, like what's 5 minutes out of your morning to sit in quiet or with some soft music, connect with your breath, going within, allowing the breath to bring you within, even 60 seconds, right? And then just saying an affirmation that resonates to your heart or grabbing them. We have them posted on the webpage every day. There's affirmations. I've got them all over. There's affirmations everywhere. We can grab these that resonate with our heart and use them. Use the tools. I surrender to the ego of my being. I attune to the highest and purest universal vibration of wisdom and compassion. When we practice things like that, just setting that intention, right? Speaking it out loud, we're now listening and speaking, we're hearing ourselves say it. We're resonating, right, with the vibration of it. We are extending it to the universe. We're setting the intention. We're mindfully minding our minds and our thoughts. And when we find ourselves having some difficulties with energy and people around us that do make us tired or take some of our, we feel this with, right? These are the things, this is how we practice to keep those beautiful mesh walls and our positive energy going. This is how we stay in it, by retraining that ego we were talking about, retraining our minds to flow to the positive. If you ever watched a river, right? A river can change. My mother has a creek on her property, and we were just talking about how amazing it is over the 20 years that she's lived there. It has completely moved. That what used to be there, swim holes, every year is a new swim hole. Every year there's a new, like, it used to be way over here. Now the flow is over here and the creek bed's dry over there. And it's, it switches. It's always moving, flowing. 2.4 hours we spend one of those here with you, and that helps. Yay, see? And I hope so. Exactly. And that's my intention, right? That gives you one of those 2.4 hours to be plugging into positive nourishment. And these little things, you guys, it's baby steps, but they make big differences. And then one day you're like, I'm connected to the prosperity. I'm in it. I'm in the flow, man. You're just cruising along, watching the waves and the leaves and the trees and the birds and the bees, and life is good. Right? And it's all from doing this work just a little at a time, little at a time. Auntie in the house, Auntie Kelly in the house. Hello, Auntie. Good morning. Good morning. All right, guys. So, food for thought. I like to share with you guys talking of our little food for thought out of Science of Mind. Tried to take this off because it's on my face again. There we go. Part of my spiritual practice is I like to read something daily, books, magazines, XYZ, something positive, something upbeat. One of my favorite tools that I use now is a guide for spiritual living. It's the Science of Mind magazine. It's $5 a month. You can get it in the mail, get your own subscription at scienceofmind.com. Um, I get no kickbacks, but it's a beautiful tool and I love it. And I think you will too. And it's again, taking 5 minutes out of your day to read a quick little article or a daily little food for thought. For me, I like doing it first thing in the mornings. I used to do it before I came on with you guys. Now I've started doing it with you guys just when I come on because it absolutely blows my mind how it's always in alignment with what we're talking about. And I just like those kind of things. Spirit and I, this is the game Spirit and I play together, right? And you guys get to witness it, so it's fun. But I like doing it in the morning because then it starts my day out, right? It gives me um, that extra vibe, that extra, gets my brain thinking in the right direction of positive flow rather than it's easy. We live in a world that's very easy to get in the flow of the negative. But we get choice. We have choice. That's our power. That's learning to master our power and stepping into our power. Good morning, Jimmy. Welcome. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Okay, guys. So there's 2 quotes and then a little food for thought and an affirmation. So our first quote today comes from Paul Bettany as visions. Oh, from WandaVisions. Here we go again. I love it when they do this from the comic books and the different, yeah, these are fun. So, what is grief if not love persevering? Yeah. What is grief if not love persevering? And then our second quote today comes from Ernest Holmes. Can we talk to God? Spiritual healing is not willing, wishing, beseeching, or repeating a lot of formulas. It is the result of drawing perception of spirit, incarnated in the one needing help. When the illusion of the opposite disappears from our mental perception, and we come to realize that we are whole, we shall be made whole. Let's reintegrate for logistic reasons. What we mean by spiritual healing. We refer to the healing of circumstances, situations, and experiences in our lives and the lives of others. Yet we know and often repeat, there is nothing to heal, only truth to be revealed. This is our way of affirming the awareness that as we reveal the truth of ourselves, the situation, the experience, the conditions change. The more we embody the truth of our divinity, the more we experience the thing we call healing in all areas of our lives. And yet, because of a strong tendency to avoid awkward and uncomfortable feelings and emotions, many tend to be superficially present. Alexander Pope wrote, "For fools rush in where angels fear to tread. We are not able to simply be with someone when they are grieving. The superficiality prevents us from having uncomfortable and courageous conversations about race, gender, politics, and money. If we are to evolve, to reach higher, we are invited to heed the words of Valerie Kerr. When we are brave enough to sit with our pain, it deepens our ability to sit with the pain of others. It shows us how to love them. She also reminds us of the importance of healing and resolving grief individually and collectively. Unresolved grief inside a person is tragic. Unresolved grief inside a nation is catastrophic. We are right now being invited to heal on a global scale. What truths are we being called to learn, teach, embody, and live? Boom. So divinely aligned, right, Miss Kelly Jones? I'm glad you see that. I was like, you were definitely top on my list with alignments with this today, right, you guys? What a beautiful message to bring to the table. We just had Saturday the Legacy Lantern Show where we commemorated our ancestors and our loved ones, those that have passed, um, in all ways. And to bring up, how that grieving process, right? There is no outline for the process. We are the processing centers that are receiving this information and processing it through us the way we can't, right? And so to be able to honor that and to honor each other in our individual journey and to sit with somebody if they're uncomfortable and be okay with them being uncomfortable and us not have to be uncomfortable, but holding the light, knowing the truth for them and allowing them their experience, not having to have that outline. Think of some of these amazing, like this says, some of these conversations we could have with one another if we didn't have to just be right, if we could just be open to allowing everyone to express how they feel, what they feel, when they're feeling, and understand we don't have to necessarily change it, but just allow it to be. Yes, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. Oh, a dove just landed on my front patio chair. Was it recorded? I couldn't find. What are you? Okay, I'm sorry. I think I might have missed a comment from you, Angela. I'm seeing, was it recorded? I can't find it, but I'm not sure what we were talking about. I don't know. What were we talking about, love? Can you remind me or let me know what we're talking about? So yes, so just right. What a beautiful, and again, here we are today. We're talking about tithing and our time and our energy and coming into, right? What is it that'll help us spiritually with nourishing ourselves, right? We focus on the art of self-care here every morning. And this is talking about sitting in that compassion, sitting with somebody. Do we allow ourselves even to sit with ourselves? Like literally, how are we with grieving? And I know there's several of us, I'm not calling anything or anyone, but I know there are several of us worldwide in here within this group that are going through the grieving process. We've had a lot of grieving. And are we being gentle and kind and loving with ourselves? Are we allowing ourselves to sit with this emotion? And again, understand that we don't have to get caught up in it. And that, we can reach out to one another and say, I'm having an uncomfortable moment. And I am in the negative, wonky emotion, but I need to ride this out. But I need a friend to tether me and hold me, hold on to me so I know, right? That's what this is about, us coming together. And I'm telling each and every one of you, if you're going through that process, I will hold that space for you. I'm that girl. And there's others in this group, reach out. Like this is what we do, right? Even just coming together this hour, plugging in, you don't have to even say a word, but just know you can come plug into this hour and be held. And knowing that divine truth of who you are. And it's okay that you won't get sucked up in this emotion. You're allowed to experience it. There's no outline, there's no right or wrong, there's no time frame. There's no time frame. I don't care if it was 20 years ago or 20 minutes ago. 200 years ago. We're dealing with some major ancestral stuff. We're breaking some major chains here, guys. This could be some, like, see, I love, thank you for sharing that, right, is it reliving? I have so much trouble seeing 11, but I always cry alone, smile to the world. I was taught to never show weakness. You're not alone, sister. You're not alone. You are not alone. And that's the thing, right? Me too. I get that. And then the world, think about the whole world like that. This is why this is part of the awakening, the coming together, the oneness. We are one. We hold each other, right? That's tithing at its finest. What better way to gift back to where we're spiritually fed? We are one. Right? Spirit's having a human experience to be able to hold that space of love for one another and allow each other, just holding each other through it, not trying to navigate it, not trying to change it, just be and not let you get sucked into it. It is. It's the right. It can be a dark, scary place when we go through some of these emotions, but that's why we come together and that knowingness, right? I've got you. You're tethered. You're tethered to the love, to the divine. We've got you as a group, as a whole, because we're one. And that's the power we hold, right? What power we hold. So we can help pull each other up. Love it. I love you guys all. Hello, hello. Don in the house. Jenny, welcome, welcome. So good to see you. Okay, guys, our affirmation. I'm running, me. I'm running divinely on time. Our affirmation today is, today I allow the truth of oneness and unity to guide my actions. I am doing my own inner work that I may be a support to others in need. I'm going to repeat that one and it'll be up on the page. Today, I allow the truth of oneness and unity to guide my actions. I am doing my own inner work that I may be a support to others in need. Mic drop, boom, right, Kelly? Right? Like, talk about right? Why are we doing this? Why are we learning to master our energy, our life purpose? Because, right, when we can do this, we hold the power to help others. Not only us, not only do we bring us into our divine birthright of prosperity, we help others get there too. Because there's an infinite source. It's unlimited. We're one. We're all getting there together. No mine and yours. It's ours. Together. It's all of ours. Miss Karen says, I was told to be loving always, so learn to swallow my emotions along with favorite foods. I am still working on the releasing of feelings instead of ingesting ice cream. What, that was a beautiful, yeah, me too. That was one of my, right? Eat our emotions, literally eat your emotions. Me, this girl, guilty. Same thing, right? Same thing. But we don't have to do that. We don't have to. And it's a retraining. We're in spiritual training right now, like, right, like boot camp. That should be our next, that should be I told you guys it would be revealed. Boot camp. There's going to be a spiritual boot camp coming. Look out, because yeah, that's what we've been doing. Actually, that's really what we've been doing this past 8 weeks. We have been in boot camp, hardcore, right? I feel like we've been in boot camp. I don't know about you guys, but what? Wow, I feel so, like, right at the end, this clarity, the coming into understanding of deeper levels is so remarkable. So worth it. All right, guys, we have 8 minutes. I'm moving on, moving on, moving on. Ice cream is my weakness too. It really is. Although I have discovered that coconut ice cream, the real stuff, I don't think it's so bad. I'm pretty sure it's a health food. Just saying. Make with coconut milk, hydrating. It's beneficial. I'm just saying. And dark chocolate. We learned dark chocolate. We need the dark chocolate. All right, guys. So Mary Queen of Angels is coming out of the deck. Actually, I think we're gonna get 2 cards today. We're gonna get one from the Ascended Masters too, but compassion. I just this morning before I came on the show, gonna pick the cards. Mary come out, and she's always about reminding us of compassion, just with ourselves, right? Being generous, loving, kind, gentle with ourselves. Stubborn with ourselves, apparently. Which literally, yes, that's the message, is to quit dragging our, there it is. Quit dragging our feet. That's always, oh, that's so funny. I love it. Mary's being funny today. This is great. This is great. This is great. So again, she's always about compassion, loving, gentleness, kindness, right? Okay. She's saying, hey, this is about tithing, the art of self-care, right? Devotion. As I fully commit to my values, my relationship with God, source energy, great spirit, Buddha, Fred, the tree, I don't care what you call it, whatever is in your consciousness, right? Bring that, we're open to all here. We're open to those infinite possibilities of all here. But this is the time we're being called to connect. We're in the crown chakra this week. The place of the divine connection to the cosmos, to the source energy. And literally Mary's like, hey, it's time. It's time that you make a commitment to you, boo. This is your time to shine. This is your time. You can't harvest if you don't plant. And you can't harvest roses if you plant petunias. Right? You can't, it's what are you planting? Everything, our thoughts, our actions, our emotions, these are seeds. These are all little seeds we get to plant, we get to nourish, we get to water, right? And we're master manifestors. Everything, all of our thoughts are seeds. And then what we nourish, what we send more and more energy to, that grows and expands, right? Think about in the garden. You can go out and plant a handful of seeds and maybe 3 of them take, right? Because the energy was focused on those. Everything was just right with those. Well, so we're that, right? What are we planting? What are your values? It's time to get clear. It's time for you to get clear with you. In a loving way. This isn't to like, but it's time, right? It's time. The world's changing. We came here to be the lights that we are. Our life purpose is to be us and to master our energy and to understand how we are as a processing center so that we choose what energy we want to put on this planet. Are we here to process energy and transmute it into positive energy? Or are we here processing energy and transmitting it into a negative energy? And it really is a negative or a positive. There is no good or bad, and we need both. We do. You got to have a negative and a positive to come together and even create a spark. So it's about the balances, right? Understanding how to master that so that we can use those sparks. We can bring the negative with the positive to create new life, new energy, and using it in the way we want to, right? Rather than you can create a spark and use it to jumpstart a car, or that same spark can burn down an entire forest if it's out of control. If we don't use it properly, right? Learning how to use them properly. That's what we're doing. Got to come within to do it. Nobody else can do it for us. Boom shakalaka. I'm telling you, pulling out the stops. Right? Absolutely, Jenny, right? And then we've got the Ascended Masters. Of course, we're in the crown chakra. These guys very rarely come out. You guys, I mean, literally, how often do you see these guys come out? But again, this is the chakra where we have that ability, right? This is the infinite. These are the tree limbs going out. These are the ascended masters that we are connected to, being the tree of life that we are. These roots, those are up there in the right, they're way up in the high, right? And we're down here being the roots. But guess what? We can still communicate. We can open up and be, hey, what's it like up there? Give me some guidance because I'm on my way up. I'm elevating up, and you've done this. And there are the leaves up there able, right? We're connected. It's that umbilical cord. We're connected. The ascended masters. Miss Dawn. So what I needed to hear. I'm going through. Girl, divine, right? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here, sharing your energy, sharing your vibe. Thank you guys all across the board, really, for sharing, liking, following, being here. I just know if you're here, universe has divinely brought you here to hear what you could hear, if you want to hear it. And I grow and expand every time you guys show up too. And it's so wonderful. And I'm so grateful for all of you. I really am. And again, they're saying stop being stubborn. Look at these cards, how stubborn, right? Every time this do this, anytime my cards do this, it's always the like, hey, stop dragging your feet. Like this is it. Stop. Just stop dragging your feet. It's time. It's time. Both decks. Okay, tithing. This is just like right again. I love how this always works. Spirit brings the same message, different forms so that we can receive it, understand it, get it, right? Mother Mary literally is coming in just to say, yeah, like my deck's being used, but really my energy too. Yeah, that's what I'm calling out for you guys. But what she's saying, nourish yourself. Tithing. 2.4 hours out of a day. Do we understand when we talk about tithing and nourishing to the self, right? If this is where we're spiritually fed, which can't have a human experience without a human body. You're being spiritually fed through this body. This is feeding you a spiritual experience. This should be the top of your list when it comes to tithing. You should be giving yourself the best of the best foods, the best of the best sleep, the best of the best mental stimulation. This is not about going out and getting a facial and making your hair pretty and getting your nails done. This is not the self-care that we're talking about here. That's self-care and that's good and it's great. And those are important things for our physical body. But what we're talking about here is self-care. We're talking about the getting in the spiritual food, the meat and the potatoes, not the foo-foo funny out here stuff, right? Again, that's looking outside of ourselves for nourishment that our inside is seeking. We're talking about nourishing ourselves, our mind, our energy, putting those right foods, right? Why are we taking good positive energy foods, using the tools, the essential oils, right? That's self-care. minding our minds, mining our minds, mining, even mining, right? I think about that a lot. Like mine your mind, mine your mind. Go in, mine, extract, get rid of the the junk, the coal, right? But expose the diamonds, the jewels, the crown. I love you too. I love you. I love you. I love you guys. Right? So Mother Mary, she's saying nourish yourself. Now, nourish yourself. Why is this important? Because this is where the prosperity is. This is the flow of prosperity. When we understand that we are connected to that infinite source, when we learn to master our energy, right? It's about all of us. It's about all of us. The prosperity when we're in the flow. Mind your mind. I love it. I love it. You had that pin yesterday. See, it's right. It's in here. Mind it. Get rid of those thoughts that don't work. Get rid of that stuff that's not there. And we put in the things that we want, right? We get to create our crown. We get to add those jewels, those little nuggets, those gold. We get to add the diamonds, those little nuggets of diamond information, the emeralds, the rubies, right? We get to do that. That's our prosperity, you guys. Our connection to our prosperity is right in here. It's within. It's learning to master this energy, understanding it. This is how we find our divine birthright. They're hidden. Your jewels are all hidden right in here. Right here. I love it. It is meant to be. Hello, Elsie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. And yes, it is always divine. The universe is always divinely conspiring. So if you were brought here, I hope you're in time to hear what you need to hear. If not, come back and rewatch the replay because we are getting ready to wrap it up. Mike in the house with my teddy bear. Welcome, Teddy Bear and Archangel Mike. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, what a you guys are just such a blessing to me. I love you guys so much. I really do. I really hope you guys can feel. I know you can, but just really hope you feel how much I love you and appreciate you guys and the expansion and growth and getting to come together and how much we learn together. You guys teach me so much every day. Um, I'm just grateful. I love you guys so much. I really do. We will be back here tomorrow. We're going to chat about essential oils that we can use to help with the crown. We're going to chat about forgiveness, which is one of the spiritual laws that is connected with that prosperity, right? Learning to clear our energy systems, getting rid of these emotions, especially talking about holding ourselves through this grieving process and these things that we're all experiencing, going through this challenging time on this planet as light beings. We're experiencing that. So forgiveness is definitely a powerful tool that we have, and we're going to dive into that tomorrow, how that can work for us in our advantage. And we'll see what spirit has for food for thought and just where the cards go. Y'all know how it works. See how it rolls, right? I'm excited to see what transpires. Super excited. So check out the website earthangelsheavensent.godaddysites.com or the Facebook page. But the website has all of my listings now. You can book a session with me. I have the aromatherapy available, all of the links to the essential oils, the different tools. My healing jewelry is now listed in there. I'm slowly getting the pieces added. I've got more to add. So make sure you come check it out and then come back and check it out because more will be added to the shop as we go. The elf ears are available in there on the variety. So the elf ears are all custom made, you guys. I am going to show you these really quick, so I'm excited that I was able to do this before I go off. So Y'all know my elf ears. And especially for Halloween coming up, like get your order in now. Because I can do matching ones with them as well if you'd like. But so there's the elf ears, right? They just slide on. They're little cuffs. They're super easy, super cute. One size fits all. If it's a little or littler person, let me know. I can make them a little smaller to, do the adjustments. But the cool thing, do this one so you can see, is I have them available where so you custom order them. You can pick your color. I have them in silver, gold, and then a antique like copper. And then you can pick your accent color that you want. I have all the rainbows of the all the colors of the rainbow available, and then they're custom done. I do each one custom made specifically. If you want more than one color, go ahead and order it, and then just email me and let me know right away. Hey, can you add a little extra accent or whatever? But it's so cool because I got them listed in the shop on the webpage, and that's a big deal for me. So that's learning and expanding and doing. So I'm like, yay. So the website is listed on the Facebook page. If you come over, Earth Angels Heaven Sent, and it is on TikTok too, guys. You can simply click on the link. It'll take you right to the web page. If you sign up for the newsletter, in a month, the web address will get to the normal earthangelsheavensent.com, but I have to wait 30 days for paperwork. I don't know, whatever. I have to wait for their rules, and so I'm waiting. But I did want to wait to launch. I got the site going. Yeah, these are so fun. They really are. And you guys, so if you would like if you have a costume or something and you would want a healing wand, I can also do. I'm working on getting those listed in the shop today to customize them, but you can pick the stones, and then I can do little ones. I can do singles or doubles, and yeah. And these guys, they're only $35 for cut and custom, right? And that's with the free shipping too. So make sure you give me time though, because I want to make sure I have plenty of time to get them to you before Halloween. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here too, Jenny. I'm so glad. All right, guys, make sure you like and follow so that you get notified when we go live. And yeah. All right, I'm over my time just by 10 minutes. That's nothing for me, right? I love you guys. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. 8:30 a.m. We'll talk about those oils. We'll talk about those tools. We'll talk about some forgiveness. We'll see what else Spirit has for us, what kind of beautiful nourishment we can get for our minds, our bodies, and our souls, looking at ourselves as a whole. Love and light to you guys. See you tomorrow. Oops, wrong one. Hang on. This is the exit video. See, click in the Reiki is a Japanese technique for stress reduction and relaxation that also promotes healing. It is based on the idea that the unseen life force energy flows through us and is what causes us to be alive. If one's life force energy is low, then we are more likely to get sick or feel stressed. And if it is high, we are more capable of being happy and healthy. Reiki is a simple, natural, and safe method of healing and self-improvement that anyone can use. It has been effective in helping virtually every known illness, and it always creates a beneficial effect. Reiki works in conjunction with all other medical or therapeutical techniques to relieve side effects and promote recovery. And because Reiki is all about the energy, it can be done at a distance, allowing you to enjoy a nice, relaxing session safely in the comfort of your own home. Schedule your in-person or distance session today. I look forward to working with you soon. Namaste. Bye, guys.